Hey guys, this is Spartacus here, and welcome to another video where I got some Blackout Beta gameplay for you guys. Just kidding, I don't actually have Blackout Beta gameplay for you guys because guess what? I play on the Xbox, and of course the Blackout Beta is not out on the Xbox yet or on the PC. I have to wait until Friday until I can play it, so expect videos by Friday or at least this upcoming weekend for some Blackout videos here on my channel. But I am here in Call of Duty World War II, and I want to actually show you guys the best way to actually earn social score in the game, because you know Black Ops 4 is coming out like about a month away, and I'm sure some of us want to reach that max social score rank and get that verification on our name, which looks really cool, right? And I'm trying to get that as well, and so I've been like playing a lot of World War II and trying to get as much social score as possible. And so I'm going to be listing off all the different ways that you guys can earn social score here in Call of Duty World War II, and at the end I'm going to be mentioning my best option and best way to actually earn as much social score as possible. So anyway, let's get started here with the first method. The first way you can actually earn some social score here in Call of Duty World War II is by prestiging your character and by prestiging your division. So by prestiging your normal character, right, you level up and then you can prestige, and then like it's the same thing we've seen in like every Call of Duty game, right? So every time you prestige in Call of Duty World War II, you actually get 100 social score, and every time you prestige your division, you also get 100 social score. And a lot of people don't actually prestige the division's max rank because they like to stay at the certain tier they're at. Well, if you keep prestiging those divisions, you actually get some rewards. Like for example, you might get a new weapon, you might get a new calling card, and you get some pretty cool items that you can only get for prestiging that certain division, which is really cool. Also, let's say that you're already master prestige. Well, since you can't actually like physically prestige anymore once you're master prestige, how else can you earn social score? Well, since you can go up to literally level 1000 here in Call of Duty World War II, every 100 levels you actually get 1000 social score, which is a huge chunk of social score. This is probably like this is probably the best way to actually get as much social score as possible, is by grinding the game and reaching every 100 levels. So like for example, if you reach master prestige level 100, you get 1000 social score. Same with master prestige level 200, you get another 1000 social score, and level 300, 400, all the way up to 900, you'll actually get 1000 social score, which is pretty darn awesome. Now let's say you get to level 1000, which is literally the max rank in the game. Well, you actually, I believe, get 10,000 social score, and I could be wrong. For some reason I think it's 5,000 social score, but then again, I'm not level 1000 here in Call of Duty World War II, but I'm pretty sure you get 10,000 social score for actually getting to level 1000 in the game, which is just absolutely absurd in my personal opinion. But anyway, what else can you do here in Call of Duty World War II to actually earn yourself some more social score? Well, this is probably the worst way possible, but I'm going to mention it anyway, is doing shootout challenges. If you go to the firing range and you know people just shoot and like targets and stuff like that, well, by going in the shootout challenge, you can go up to players and you can actually ask for a shootout challenge. Of course, they have to accept it, and the majority of the time they don't actually accept your shootout challenge, and whether you win or lose in this shootout challenge, you can still earn social score. Now keep in mind, you can only do this once per player, and you can't earn social score anymore, and you only get 5 social score, which really isn't a lot at all. So, but I mean, it's still a method that I highly recommend, because there's usually a lot of people in the firing range who are shooting, but like I said before, most of the time people aren't going to accept your request, but you might as well just do it anyway, because you never know if they're going to accept your request or not. And you know, 5 social score is better than having 0 social score. Another method for actually earning some social score here in Call of Duty World War II is by going to the 1v1 pit. Now, if you play in the 1v1 pit, whether you win or lose, you still get social score, and you get 20 social score for playing with someone in the 1v1 pit. And it's the same thing with the shootout challenge. You can only do this once per player, so if you like, you can't just like play with your friend constantly in the 1v1 pit and getting social score every single time. You can't farm that way. It doesn't work. Like, you only get the social score once per player in the 1v1 pit, so keep that in mind. Also, this is one of the best methods, I think, in my personal opinion, to actually earn social score here in Call of Duty World War II, is your daily orders. Like, I am not kidding. Log in every single day into Call of Duty World War II and collect these orders, because there's always going to be at least one daily order that gives you 250 social score, which is a pretty good chunk, and these challenges are like super easy. One of them could be like win a match in the 1v1 pit, like throw grenades in like the tires in the firing range, a lot of this type of headquarters stuff, right? Or like commend 10 people, which usually is really easy because there's usually more than 10 people in your headquarters, so that shouldn't be too hard. So like these daily orders are really easy to complete, and it gives you 250 social score. Like literally there should be no excuse why you shouldn't be completing these every single day, unless of course you're out of the house doing something, right? So I mean, that's understandable, but still these orders are very easy to complete, and I highly recommend doing them every single day. Another way of earning social score here in Call of Duty World War II is by opening up supply drops. Now, the best way of actually doing this is that make sure that when you're in the headquarters, and I mean literally open up your supply drops in the headquarters, not in the main menu, because you're not going to earn any social score for doing this. Like, because each supply drop that you open in front of someone gives you at least 1 social score. So, like, let's say there's 5 people watching you open up a supply drop, you'll get 5 social score for doing that. So my biggest recommendation for you guys is make sure there is a bunch of people in the headquarters and they're all gathered around and like really close to each other. Then open up a supply drop in front of them, and hopefully you'll get at least 10 or 12 social score, because I always do this. I always save up my supply drops and I open them at the same time in a headquarters where there's a bunch of people in one area, and each supply drop that I'm opening, I'm getting at least 12 social score each time. So that is one of my biggest recommendations. Save up your supply drops, wait until you're in a headquarters lobby where there's a bunch of people in one area, open up that supply drop in front of all those people, because the more people who are watching you open up a supply drop, the more social score you're going to get. Also, if you're watching someone open up a supply drop, you can also earn some social score as well. Now, this is a lot more rare because you also can earn other things as well by watching people open up supply drops. Like, for example, you can earn armory credits for watching people open up supply drops. You can earn just normal XP towards your character if you're watching a supply drop, but sometimes you'll actually earn 25 social score if people are opening up supply drops around you. You just gotta kind of be patient and just let them like keep opening up supply drops basically. Another thing I would like to mention is that if you open up zombie supply drops, you can actually get twice as much social score. So like when you first open up a zombie supply drop, it has like the normal kind of supply drop items. The 2 first things are like normal supply drop items, and it gives you like the 5 social score for like those people watching you, for example, right? But then it starts opening up the consumables in that same supply drop, and then it gives you 5 more social score, because I don't really know why, but opening up zombie supply drops give you more social score than normal multiplayer supply drops. So just keep that in mind, you guys. The last method I have here in this video for you guys is probably the best method to do, and it seriously has worked like a couple times for me, and I'm still continuing to do that, and it's just really helpful. So you can, if people can actually commend you, right? If they go up to your character, they can commend you, and it gives you 25 social score for free. Like, you don't have to do anything. It's the other player doing the work, so which is really nice. But the best methods for like someone to actually commend you is by being AFK in the headquarters. All you have to do is just find a really populated area in the headquarters, which is usually like the spawn area. Do like your jumping jacks or something, because jumping jacks are unlimited, or like that chicken dance or something like that. And what you want to do is, while you're doing those jumping jacks, press the start button and go to your created class and just hover your cursor or whatever over the created class and just stay there. Like just stay there or something like that. Like that's all you have to do to stay AFK in the headquarters for Call of Duty World War II. Now keep in mind, sometimes this doesn't work, because what might happen is that since you're AFK, you might actually get kicked for like inactivity, right? But sometimes, or actually the majority of the times I do this, if I just stay in my created class menu, I actually don't get kicked from the headquarters lobby, which is really good. Now, what's beneficial about this, if you're AFK and you're just doing jumping jacks, I think we all know by now that people who do jumping jacks want to get commended. So what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to see you doing jumping jacks, and they're going to go up to you and they're going to commend you, and you're going to get 25 social score, which is really nice. Now, what makes this a lot easier, and this is what I do, and I take a huge benefit of this, so there's a daily order where you can earn 250 social score, where you have to commend 10 people. The best way to like get more social score is by being AFK in the headquarters during the day that this daily order is out. So the day that you see the daily order that says commend 10 people, then you actually like just stay AFK in the headquarters like literally the entire day, because I'll be like going out doing like training for my new job or something like that, or I'm out of the house or something, right? But I'll leave my Xbox on and I'll say AFK in the headquarters headquarters, and I'm just gonna let people try and come up to me and commend me, right? Not to mention, while you're being AFK, people are gonna open up supply drops around you, and if people are opening up enough supply drops around you, then you're gonna get even more social score, which is really nice. So yes, staying AFK in the headquarters is literally the best way to actually earn social score here in Call of Duty World War II. I mentioned all these other ways which are really good because they kind of give you big chunks of social score, like of course like prestiging your division, your character, leveling up through Master Prestige and the 1v1 pit, all that kind of stuff, right? All that gives you social score, which I highly recommend keep doing. But literally, being AFK here in the headquarters is the best way to actually earn social score, especially during the daily order where you have to commend 10 people, because people are most likely going to come up to you and commend you so that way they can complete that daily order, right? So it just makes total sense. So staying AFK in the headquarters is definitely the best way, and I highly recommend doing it, especially if you're out of the house and you're like busy like at your job, at school, or something like that. So that's what I've been doing lately, is staying AFK in the headquarters. Like literally, I was AFK for about 6 hours, and literally like I got so lucky. Literally each hour that I was AFK, I got like 6,000 social score, because I came back and I saw that I had a huge chunk of my social score bar like already completed, and I did the math and I got like 6,000 social score for being AFK for only like 6 hours, like because the headquarters was just super populated that day, and I just got very, very lucky. So yep, you guys, that is it for the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating for whatever you guys feel this video deserves, and of course subscribe to the channel for more Call of Duty videos later in the future, and I shall catch you guys later.